SethTheProgrammer is a death battle-esque YouTuber with 750,000 subscribers who was recently called out for allegedly doxing multiple different people and apparently falsifying evidence and wrongfully calling someone close to him the term deriving to forcing yourself upon someone in a sexual encounter, recording audio of them in conversations trying to explain themselves, and trying to force them into giving a false admission with an ultimatum that they could only get the bad option with. And just before I begin, I'd like to make a clear disclaimer. I'm going to be very careful with my wording for ads, but I'll try and make it as clear as possible what I'm referring to while stating such things. Obviously, I don't want this video to get my whole channel neutered into oblivion by YouTube, so my wording is going to be very careful so that this video will fit under all of the terms of service, guidelines, etc. on YouTube. Also, everything I'm discussing from this point is allegations against SethTheProgrammer. Nothing I'm stating is fact, nothing I'm stating is 100% proven, and everything I'm sharing is my own opinion from the evidence I've seen. Don't go around saying that my opinion is gospel, or taking the evidence as fact and harassing someone like SethTheProgrammer over it, as I haven't seen confirmation that the messages sent are 100% the Discord account that they're claiming to be, and as of this point there's been no evidence shown of messages being scrolled through by recording to show that they haven't been falsified. Also, before I begin, I'd like to set out a few trigger warnings for relationships in the bedroom without consent, doxing, and manipulation. And just as a quick detour before we begin the video, I post videos every single day at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST, and I am quite literally the only person that works on these videos other than thumbnail artists that I sometimes use, like Toby. So, if you could consider subscribing to the channel to help support these videos, that would be highly appreciated, as I'm aiming for 50,000 subscribers at the end of the year. At the moment, we're at 38,000, which is absolutely insane. Your support is the only reason this is possible, and as such, if you could consider subscribing to help me reach my next arbitrary subscriber goal, that in the grand scheme of things means absolutely nothing, but the fact that you guys help me get to them means a lot, I'd appreciate it. You can also check out my other social media like my Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all linked down below if you'd like to support me on those platforms too. And if you'd like to support me financially, I have Patreon, Ko-fi, and a join button down below if you just want to donate any sort of amount of money to help me buy anything I decide to buy. I recently bought a camera. I'm buying a MacBook next month so that I can edit videos on the go if I go out anywhere, so that I can make sure that the content you receive is the best I can make it without as many constraints as possible, while being able to enjoy my own life. Finally, I am obligated to mention that Just a Robot is also working on a video of this, because he said if I didn't he would cancel me. I'm kidding, but if you could support Jar's video, that'd be highly appreciated. I know that it's coming out soon, and Jar always does good research on these things. But just as a quick disclaimer, just because I'm promoting this video, I haven't seen anything in it yet, so if he says anything insane, please don't correlate me with it. Jesus, he's gonna hate me for saying that. Okay, serious caps on. Back into the focus of the video, and let's start by discussing Seth's apparent doxing and the people around Seth that have apparently been doxing people. Let's get right into it. Recently, Seth was called out for apparently sharing a private social media account that had the real name of someone that he disliked, which was a person known as Noodles, in a way of doxing them, which seems relatively problematic. You shouldn't share people's private social media account, especially without their knowledge, unless obviously you're sharing it to people that they know in real life. The people already know that private information. You shouldn't be sending someone online someone's personal account. However, that in itself wouldn't be the hugest thing, it could have just been a minor mistake. However, Seth is then also seen to be trying to coerce a person called Jade, who is a doxer, into calling the employer of someone he doesn't like. And I'd like to quickly show some proof of Jade being a doxer, proof of Jade being capable of doxing more accurately. And here you'll see Seth's involvement in their doxing and harassment. Now, Jade has also admitted to being a doxer on other social media accounts, which obviously means that Jade is probably someone that can't really be trusted, and knowing that Seth would know this, it seems like Seth's intentions were to get this person harassed. Again, that should be apparent by the fact that Seth was trying to get them to call up their employer, but I'd like to state that for the people that aren't keeping up with the information. Also, Seth tried to deplatform the person he didn't like from social media with no justified reason. And also this was confirmed by Jade, the doxer, so I believe this is relatively sound. There were also accounts of Jade apparently sharing Noodle's mother's number, which is insanely problematic, as that is a private number to call someone's family member. You shouldn't be sharing that ever. just about ever. And here you can see one of Seth's friends using Noodle's mum's face as a profile picture. And just as an important clarification here, I know a lot of people probably are going to see my previous video and then see this video and go, well, but didn't you say before that you shouldn't make someone guilty by association? You see, this is a different situation here, and I'd like to address that concern within the video, as this isn't guilty by association because Seth is actively engaging in these actions too, doxing information like private social media accounts and telling people to call up this person's employer, which means that this is more of a group effort and Seth is involved within this behavior. Also, later on you'll see why I believe that Seth is more involved, because Seth has apparently dug up other people's social media, private accounts, private real names, that sort of thing, which makes it quite concerning that Seth's behavior seems to be continuing, and it makes it seem like Seth is way more involved than initially highlighted, but it seems like Seth likes to make people do his dirty work for him, which I'll cover later as well. Okay, back into it. Seth's apparent friend has confirmed the intentions from people in the group to get to be fired.
So, bro, we whipped out the grabber link for that one. Like, it wasn't his public fucking name on his Instagram, on Clyde's DMs, bro. Not DMs, on his public post, like, with his face on it.
I'm pretty sure there's a recording out there of Leon just doing it spontaneously in the middle of a call. Like, Noodles was talking shit, and Leon responded, "Shut up, bitch, before I call your job and get you fired."
Which in itself highlights that Seth is involved with the efforts to literally try and ruin someone's life or job. And also, there are recordings of Seth admitting involvement in trying to dox Noodles, which to anyone who's looking over this situation should be an incredible concern, because the fact that Seth would try and dox someone in a group of people that are also trying to get that person fired is definitely a concern to me, as that is quite literally the safety and life of another person being put at risk.
Dude, you know how I allegedly doxed him? By him publicly commenting with his real name on his Instagram under Clyde's shit when Leon looks at his fucking Clyde's Instagram and sees him commenting, bro. So
yeah, that was literally Leon who did it.
So, bro, we whipped out the grabber link for that one. Like, it wasn't his public fucking name on his Instagram, on Clyde's DMs, bro. Not DMs, on his public post, like, with his face on it.
Seth has also in the past admitted to digging up information on Webcam Parrot during a previous drama, and apparently they received Webcam Parrot's personal information in the progress, implying that Seth has doxed or got other people to dox in the past for him to get information on people he didn't like in an attempt to likely harass them or cause them problem to their personal life.
And Parrot, here's something that's interesting, by the way. Noodles might be interested in this as well. So, I thought Parrot was in on the Cold War, so I was starting to dig up information on Parrot, right? Mm-hmm. And let me just tell you, certain individual was able to fucking give his full fucking name right off the bat, and I was like, what the fuck? So I actually know Parrot's full name because of this individual.
And also, the fact that Seth states that you didn't even have to whip out the IP grabber link to get this information supports the idea that Seth uses others to dox this information to maybe keep his hands clean, or just because he doesn't know how to do it himself, which again ties threads between Seth and the doxers, which again makes it less of a guilty by association and more of a Seth is actively involved in this behavior, and as such is a problem here. And also, Seth later tried to blame his associates when talking to Noodles about the whole situation, claiming that they were the ones behind it, that sort of thing, that he was just a tag-along, which is incredibly manipulative, seeing how much Seth has actually been involved in this whole thing, and seeing as I've seen no documentation that would show that Seth has been trying to be manipulated by these people were trying to manipulate Seth, is how I should word it. I really can't trust him on that statement, especially because later his actions get a whole lot worse, but I'll get to them when I get to them. And also, Seth apparently doxed Surfbone's face while making false allegations of unconsensual relationships in the bedroom, if you get what I mean, if you catch my drift. So let's touch on these allegations. I really hate talking about this stuff, but here we are again discussing another serious allegation. So, Seth allegedly accused Surfbone of committing unconsensual assault on a woman. Seth uses terms revolving around the R word to describe Surfbone in multiple different occasions. Now, these are more jokey terms, but they are still serious in the allegation behind them, and there's also messages showing that Seth has stated that they believe this sort of thing, so I am going to say that that is quite a concern, but sadly I can't state what he was saying for the sake of YouTube, so I'm going to have to censor that. Also, Seth apparently hosted court cases on Discord trying to judge the situation and call out Surfbone for being this apparent terrible person and predator on a woman. The reason that Seth accused Surfbone of this allegation is because Surfbone poorly explained his sexual encounter with a woman. However, Surfbone did clarify on the prior statements multiple different times. However, Seth allegedly recorded the call and held what was dubbed a witch trial on Surfbone, giving him a false dilemma where he could only lose in the situation, which is an incredible concern, and it's also quite concerning that Seth didn't listen to any of the clarifications that Surfbone made on this situation. However, Surfbone did the correct thing and called the girl, getting her to confirm that while they were drunk, she came upon Surfbone and he didn't force them into anything, with them both being intoxicated, and while a problematic and way less than ideal situation wouldn't make him the R word, and wouldn't really make him the responsible one because he was came upon. This video is going to be linked in the description along with the whole Google Doc, so if you want to hear that whole call, you can. I'll try and make it as available as possible, along with all the other information shown in this video, so if you believe I didn't show a point properly, there is way more proof in here that you can look over if you need to. And apparently, after even seeing this evidence, Seth continued to run with these claims, which is a claim that the Google Doc makes. I haven't seen evidence of this. And while Seth did later admit that these allegations were untrue, it becomes a problem even more because Seth made the excuse that he apparently recorded these calls against Surfbone because Jade, who was a minor, had said that Surfbone's behavior or comments were creepy. However, Jade themselves came out and provided DMs showing that Seth had told them to make up and stick with this story, falsifying it as a defense and making it seem like Seth did actually have malicious intentions, because otherwise there'd be no reason to message this other person and tell them to run with the story to save his own ass. So, in conclusion, what can we really learn here? Well, given if all of these claims are true, which it's hard to know at this situation, and I'm waiting for Seth to respond and clarify on all of these claims and hopefully prove themselves innocent. I would love for them to be innocent in this situation, but I don't really expect them to be able to prove themselves innocent, same with the evidence. But what do these claims actually say? Well, it says that, to say the least, SethTheProgrammer is a person who is actively causing harm to other people's lives, making false allegations against serious claims against people's names, because he believes that it's his right to say these sort of things without even speaking to the apparent victims of this situation and just running off of what he believes is the truth. And also, Seth is apparently involved in a lot of doxing and exposing of people's private information. Not only is this a crime, but it's incredibly concerning, as Seth has been doing it against content creators he's had falling out with, apparently, which makes it a big problem because he could actively try and do things like dox and swat them for the sake of losing a drama or trying to harm them, which is quite a concern to say the fucking least, because then if he's in a drama and they call him out for something, he could silence them, and then the way he'd silence them would be by threatening their safety, and then he can make all these public claims to try and fuck them over. That seems like a terrible fucking predicament, to say the least, and the fact that Seth has apparently been involved in all of this different doxing in the past and the present says that Seth is still a content creator that can't be trusted on a lot of their behavior, and while I know this won't take away from a lot of their content, I do believe it's something that they need to address and actively learn the fucking issue with, because at the moment, this person should not be someone that gets supported. I do believe that they should apologize for a lot of this behavior and shouldn't involve themselves in these situations anymore, because this is fucked. A lot of this is absolutely fucked up. But with that being said, I'd love to know your opinion on this situation, as obviously this information is new, so I'd love to see what people have to say about it. As of this point, I've only seen the Google Doc and I haven't seen any responses, so if you feel I got something wrong, please do correct me. If you feel like there's criticism for this video, please do tell me. But if you agree with me or disagree with me, I'd love to know so I can take that into account for future videos. I try to make these videos as unbiased as possible, and I go into them taking an equal viewpoint no matter whether I've had a prior conversation with someone else or not. That should be obvious by most of my content being very neutral, and obviously even when I've had like friendly conversations with Prismate Luke, I was still willing to criticize him before he made some slanderous videos against me. So it should be apparent that these videos are intended to be neutral looks at these situations, and everything discussed within them is allegations unless directly stated otherwise or stated as fact. These videos are intended to bring you the information in a way that doesn't accuse people falsely, and I state everything as a if this information is true, and if new information comes out to correct the information in this video, I'm happy to cover that as well. So please don't harass me for covering this situation. I've seen people recently in my Discord server try to claim that I am responsible if people take what I say and they take words that I never even said in the video and try to run with what I said as fact, even though I've stated otherwise. So, I'd like to clarify, I don't state anything as fact here. You shouldn't take anything I say as fact. That should be pretty obvious. Anyway, as a final note to end this video, if you'd like to support my other social media, because these videos take a lot of work, you can check out my Discord, Twitter, Instagram, all linked down below, just below this video. If you support those platforms, you get to see more of my personal life, you get to see more of me as a person, you get to see my opinions on topics that don't end up being made into videos, and you really just get to see more of me as a whole, without the script, without the mirror, or the, you know what I mean, basically. You get to see, like, who I am, aside from my scripted content. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel to see more videos, that would be highly appreciated. As of right now, over 10,000 people have notifications on for this channel, which, holy fucking shit, thank you for supporting these videos to that extent. If you'd like to become one of the notification squad, I can't believe I just said that, please do click the notification bell down below. Jesus, I feel like I'm selling my integrity so much. Finally, if you'd like to support these videos financially, you can check out my Patreon, Ko-fi, and join button, and just donate any amount you want to support these videos, and become a person like Ghost of Grievous, Spy62, and SpyV, who have donated some of their money to support this content. Thank you to everyone who's donated like Heimdall. I'm gonna make sure I update my list soon so that I get all the donators as of this point, because there are a lot more. I feel like the donation list has doubled since the last time I thanked all these people, and these people have put like so much money into this content, so thank you. I'm attempting to try and find an editor I can hire at this point when I get more donations, so if you'd like to donate to see that happen so I can make more content for you with less of the stress being put on my shoulder, because there is a fuck ton of work I do every single day at this point, that would be appreciated. With that being said, hope you have enjoyed this video, hope it's given you a perspective on this situation that you haven't seen yet, and I hope this video has brought attention to a situation that you view, as well as I view, as important to discuss and cover. That being said, I'll see you next time. Hope you had a great day. I'd love to know what you did. I do actually like to see more of who you guys are, as well as you guys get to see more of who I am. It's a better way of gauging like who people actually are, more than just what they are in a single comment. I worded that so poorly. I feel like a stalker now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Says she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with it.